I live in a small town just outside of Tampa, Florida. It's a rural place. It's quite a small place, a lot of farmers and that kind of thing, a lot of horse farms, cattle ranches, and orange groves. But quite often I drive by this particular local attorney's office, and his sign says that he practices in the following areas. I have to look over at the list because it's so long I couldn't memorize it. He practices in personal injury and death, wills, trusts, and estates, marital and family law, real estate services, whatever that is. I think it's title company stuff, general civil litigation, business and corporate law, and criminal defense. Have you ever heard the phrase jack of all trades, but master of none? I'm acquainted with this lawyer. He's about 40 years old. So I think he's been practicing about 18 years. And I know from personal experience, there is absolutely no way that he's a master of any of these practice areas because there's no way you can focus on 7 different disparate practice areas in the practice of law in today's day and age and be a master of any one of them, particularly in 18 years. There's just not enough time in your life, and there's not enough time in 18 years to become a master, most likely of any of those, let alone all 7. This small town attorney is practicing what I call door law. He takes everything that comes through the door. Now, why am I emphasizing this? And that's because for over 26 years, we've been focused on purely federal tax issues. And as a sub niche of federal tax issues, we focus on IRS problem resolution and tax planning. And that's it. 26 years experience. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I've read the entire tax code. The last time I saw the statistic on how long it would take you to read the entire tax code was if you spent 5 days a week, so 40 hours a week reading the tax code, it would take you over 80 years to read it. So nobody's read the tax code. Nobody knows what's in that. So we have to be selective and we have to focus and we have to actually practice law. What do I mean by practice law? I'll tell you a little secret. When you get out of law school, you don't really know how to practice law. You know how to look up the law. You know how to spot certain legal issues, a lot about a very broad area, those areas that were on, the bar exam. But you don't really know how to practice law. It takes you experience. It takes success and failure, quite frankly, in order to become a master at the practice of law in a single practice area, let alone 7. So at the beginning of my career, I did defend DUI cases, for example, and I thought I was really good. And I got some really good results in the 5 to 7 years that I practiced criminal defense. But if I were to be asked today to recommend an attorney for a DUI case, it wouldn't be me. It would be my colleagues and friends who have been practicing in the DUI area for over 30 years, because now they're a master of that. They're not a master like I thought it was after 2 years or 5 years of practicing criminal defense. They're actually masters of their art at this point in time. So hopefully you're getting the point across. I'm getting the point across here. If you find yourself with an IRS problem and you're considering hiring a pro to help you, I have some questions that might be of some assistance. Ask them how long they've been doing this type of work, in particular IRS collection work. Not a CPA who prepares tax returns or does financial statements or does audits, not that kind of thing. How long have they been doing IRS collection work? Do they enjoy the IRS collection work? I actually enjoy defending clients against the IRS, mixing it up some and getting good to great results for my clients. I enjoy that. It's fulfilling to me. I know that I'm doing a good job and I'm filling a niche, a void in the marketplace by helping people with those types of problems. Do they have any cases or stories about similar cases to yours? Were they successes? Were they failures? Do they have any stories of similar cases? If they don't, they just might not have enough experience. This practice area is something that it's very difficult to dabble in. If you're going to try to dabble in IRS collection work, IRS controversy work, or IRS problem resolution work, as we sometimes call it, you can't dabble. You have to be in the trenches day in, day out, or you're going to lose track. And frankly, you're going to forget what you need to do in order to get the best outcome for your client. Do the pros that you're considering in your area, do they know the revenue officers in your area? Do they have experience with them? Do they know the ins and outs of how IRS appeals work? These are all questions that you should at least consider when you're thinking about hiring somebody to help you with your IRS problem. And the point that I'm trying to make here is that you need someone who has experience and knows what they're doing, not some door lawyer or door CPA, as it were, that's just dabbling in this stuff. This is not something that you can dabble in. So just remember that although my office is based in Florida, I'm licensed in the state of Florida, Texas, and Colorado. But the good news is I don't need a license in your state. I can practice this practice area in all 50 states, and I actually have. If you have questions about this or really anything having to do with IRS collection law, I suggest that you visit our website at getirshelp.com.